Depending on your geographical location, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's me again. We're back again on this our live show, and specifically or explicitly dedicated to the viewers in the comments section. Yesterday, I did state that we will be doing the launching next week, but due to unforeseen circumstances, I have to bring it forward to today to do this, to launch it, because of I will not be available next week to do this launching. So it's better for me to do it today, following yesterday's program. Peps 2007, thank you very much. We will have the usual tonic. Today will be exciting, and we're gonna cover a lot of angle today, issues that bothers us. But the focus, as I said yesterday, the focus is on us citizens, on our role in changing or bringing effective change in the country. So you must have read the description, I believe. You have read the description of today's broadcast, and every one of you must have prepared yourself to work this one out for us to have a chat on it. It's very important that we talk about it. Believe me or not, it's very important that we have to talk about this issue. So, the usual tonic. Pepster, how are you doing today? Let me ask you, you're doing today. How are you doing today? Tell me, how are you doing today, Pepster? Pepster 2007. How are you doing today? A token and a prayer, 2 million token given to senators is not a big deal. Do you agree with that it is not a big deal? The 2 million token given to the senators, regardless of the circumstances we live in. Do you agree with that, Peps 2007? One of the reasons why I had to do this program today is after listening to the former senator by name Eseme Eyibo. I hope I'm pronouncing it well. Is the way he tried to spin the 2 million naira that was given to the senator. To me, it appears that Christine, you said, okay, I disagree with that. Disagree with the 2 million that was given to them, or disagree with what I just said? A bit of clarification will be highly appreciated. You disagree with the 2 million naira is a big deal. Okay. Yeah, it is a big deal. Christine, thank you for the clarification. You said it is a big deal. Yes, regardless of the circumstances, it is a big deal because of what is going on. But when I listen to the interview granted by Channel, by Arise News, conducted by Dr. Abati, the man tried to spin the 2 million naira given to the senators. And as I was saying earlier, it appears that one of the problems or issues we have in the country is that we don't cross-reference things. We don't actually do search and ask questions. Yes, things are difficult in the country. Thankfully, the senators they are on break at the moment. So it will give the constituents opportunity to ask them questions. That is, if they did go back to their constituency. Mr. Elisha Ziradea, it's a big deal, sir. As a retired assistant director in federal, I never had such money in my account. Yeah, that is absolutely right. Even some don't even have 50,000 naira in their account. Talk less of 2 million naira. But here it is. He tried to spin it, and that was what got me really. So you know what? We have to say something to steer the mind of the people. My role and my role in this, trying to see how we can bring change about, is to steer the mind of the citizens, my fellow citizens, to start to act accordingly, particularly in line with the Constitution 68 and 69, which I often stand on and start asking, doing the checks and balance. Now, he said, I read the transcript on the channels, on Arise News. He said that the 2 million naira given to them is a way of, because they've not been paid, they've not been paid for 3 months, according to the statement. I mean, he probably must have forgotten that what's her name, Kingibe, one of the new senators. Kingibe came out when Akpabio made the statement of token to defend what Akpabio said, in that she has not received any email or alert. But she never said that they've not been paid for 3 months. This is where Nigerians need to ask questions. If you look at the thumbnail, all eyes on the judiciary, all eyes are now on what? On the Labour Party senators, both in the upper and the lower chamber. Can any of them come out to deny or affirm that indeed they've not been paid for 3 months? Can Ireti Kingibe come out the way she came out when Akpabio made that statement, that they've not been, that statement of a token, and he recalled that statement back and turn it into a prayer? Can she say authoritatively that they've not been paid for 3 months? These are the questions Nigerians should start to ask this our senators, because if that is the case, it's not fair for someone to come on a live broadcast on a national television station to make such things and to spin issues given to the pain Nigerians are going through. Now, there were 2 questions asked in the description box there, which we will look at the end of the day. And for those in the comment section, please keep your comments coming, and questions, whatever questions you have for me to weigh in, and other commentators or those in the comment section also will try to weigh in on anything you say. It will be highlighted on this show. Let the poor breathe. For those of us, or for those of you who are familiar or who travel by air, when you get on the plane about to take off or already off, there's usually a safety announcement, a safety check that normally goes on every time. Now, they often advise that in case of an emergency, the oxygen mask is going to drop. Now, you have to wear your oxygen mask to be able to help the other person, the other passenger, or else you'll be putting both your life and the life of the other passenger at risk. So one of the questions asked there is, how is it possible for the poor to be able to help when they are being suffocated? So, the wife of the vice president, I've listened to that speech over time, and a lot of people preachers or clergymen that were there were excited. Some of them were dancing and excited at the speech. But I read in between the line, how realistic is this speech? And not too long, her husband announced subsidy is gone. Now, yesterday I quoted the words of Jesus Christ, which says that by their fruit you shall know them. There has to be an evidence of change, positive change, for one to say, indeed, something good will come out of these issues that we are facing today. So here, the Labour Party senators are riding on the horse of Peter Obi: transparency, accountability, equity. Therefore, can any one of them do us that favor, do the citizens the favor to say, indeed, they've not been paid for what? For 3 months, as claimed by Senator Eyibo. I was expecting Dr. Abati to press further on that statement. Unfortunately, he did not what? He did not press further on it. Sadly, that is the way we see the Nigerian media today. Now, we'll flip over to what? To the Chinese news, when Sheyi now had to interview Ireti Kingigbe on this issue of 2 million, when she said she has not received a lot or anything in her email or account. However, when that 2 million comes, she's going to use it what? To do developmental project that she has what? In her constituency. No mention of they've not been paid for what? For 3 months. Now, here is why I said they try to spin it. And because of the issues on ground, most of us, most Nigerians, don't actually read in between the line. Now, if you've not been paid for 3 months, as claimed by Eyibo, and they gave you 2 million as a token going on holiday, why would you use that 2 million to want to do a developmental project when you've not been paid? I mean, that's questions that we should be asking our senators or lawmakers. If I have not been paid for 3 months, I don't know what their salary is, and I'm being given 2 million, why would I use it for developmental project and not my own, see it as to take care of myself? Why would the Senate president need to retract that statement? So these are the questions, like I said yesterday, not until we start to do the checks and balances on our legislators in the legislative arms, we will be running in circle. And that is what we need to do. And I hope we will start to do that, particularly now that they're on break. They're not coming back till September 26th. And trust me, some of them will never visit their constituency or even go and touch base with their constituents. It ain't going to happen. It has never happened before, and I don't think now will be. But as long as we sit down there and swallow it, then things will remain as it is. As long as we don't challenge them and ask them questions, judge their performance, things will continue the way it is. It will not change. If 2 million is given to every Nigerian, there will be no complaint. Now, The former senator went further to defend or try to defend the hike, the supposedly hike in electricity bill. He said another senator was against the motion, so the motion was not, the bill was not passed. That is laughable. In the first place, should they, if whoever came up with that idea to increase tariff, electricity tariff, we need to find out who the person is. Because first and foremost, there is no electricity. So why do you want to increase the tariff? It sounded as if they are doing Nigerians a favor due to the current hardship. So we don't want to add to that hardship. I mean, I think we live in a different planet. We live in a different planet. Elisha Zera there, you said that the 2 million is a token for their holidays enjoyment. Senator Reti should know that the money is not meant for constituent development. They used to have different budget for that. Thank you for that. Thank you for that enlightenment, Elisha Ziradia. The money actually is not for development, constituent development, as you rightly said. And the fact is, when they try to spin things and spin it around, and they probably think that, or they've taken Nigerians to be idiots, unfortunately. And the focus is on the Labour Party senators because they are riding on what? On the horse of Labour Party for transparency, accountability, fairness, equity, so forth, so on and so forth. That is what they are riding on. And as such, asking the question of, all eyes on the judiciary is what is comes as what? As a double standard. When the obedient are saying all eyes what? On the judiciary. That is definitely a what? A double standard. All eyes are what? Are on what? Should be on what? On the Labour Party lawmakers, because they are there to make a difference. And so if they are going to make a difference, then they should start what? So start to tell Nigerians the truth. They should start to tell Nigerians what? The truth. I will be back in 2 minutes. I mean, less than 2 minutes. I'm going to play a song, and I'll be back in 2 minutes in respect to this. Just give me 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes. I will be back, and I will continue this broadcast. Okay, I'm having... okay, I'll be back in 2 minutes, or less than 2 minutes.
Album right
Just a
here.
short break.
It's called Spirit of Love. We're very pleased to welcome Majek Beshek.
Yeah, thank you for your understanding for that. I am back again. So it's time for us to focus on the Labour Party's legislators, because they are there to what? To make a difference. They are there to tell us the truth. tell us what is actually going on in both the red and the green chambers, the upper and the lower chambers. All eyes should be on them. People should ask, citizens should ask Ireti Kingibe if truly they've not been paid for 3 months. People should start to apply for public records. These things are in public, they are public records. Their salary is in public records. What they earn is in public records. So citizens should start to ask. This is how the change we are asking for, we are looking for, will come about. I read again what you're seeing on the screen. The 2 million is a token for their holidays enjoyment. The ordinary Nigerian cannot even travel to his village given to the fuel price cost of fuel. And they are being given 2 million. Senator Eyibo sounded as if they're doing us a favor. The amount of work they do. The amount of work they do, if you look at what is going on in the country, does not correspond. What work did they do? And yet we sit down. We're expecting a judgment from God, a miracle from God. I'm not against miracle, please. I know for the past few days I've been here, even yesterday, one of the comments that came, the government of God is next week. We're expecting a judgment from God next week. I heard it last week and I started to reason, what is going on? It now dawned on me that, maybe the court case, the decision will be given next week. Is that what we're sitting down waiting for? How would that solve our problem? The executive is not our problem. I've said this over time, and I'll keep saying it. The executive arm of the government, it's not our problem. Our problem is the legislative arm of the government. That institution, it is our problem. Now, we must also understand that these institutions are made up of human beings, not the building. So it is you and I, the people we send there. Now, the argument is there that they were not voted for. Whether they were voted for or not, they claim to be representing you and I. Therefore, we still have the power to start to recall them back. Or alternatively, come next election. And this is why I'm kind of a little bit upset that why we are focused on just the court case and abandon what we should be doing. Preparing towards next election. Those with genuine intent should either start to join a political party if they want to, or come together and form their own party. There is no law against how many political parties that can be formed in the country. What now happens if the judgment do not favor the Labour Party? We will continue to sit down and fold our hands and say, Serai, whatever will be, or should be. No. We all want that change because the country is blessed. Start to hold your legislative arm, your legislators accountable. Let's start to ask questions. Either fight and runs away, according to the saying, live to fight another day. 2 million is a token for their holidays enjoyment. This means that they were paid 3 months, as claimed, as against what the former senator said that they've not been paid for 3 months. And they will continue to spin this thing until they will not normalize it It will not become, we will not accept it as what? As a gospel truth. Now, I also understand, given to the amount of broadcasts that has taken place, that many Nigerians love to hear their voice on this matter. But due to the issue of electricity and the cost of data in Nigeria makes it nearly impossible for them to. As such, we came up with this chat section where you can write out what you have your say in this chat section. And I strongly believe that if we continue in this way, those in Nigeria start to write out what they feel, having their say on this, it will go a long way. We will steer the minds of people to do the right thing. Not for war, not for violence, but to do the right thing that needs to be done. Let's think of what we can do for our nation, our country. We have to stop blaming our leaders in this regard. Because why? It may be us. We may get there tomorrow. If we don't do better now, we cannot do better when we get there. That is just the truth. And we find it difficult to accept truth. Now, in respect to the wife of the president, like I said, I have listened to that video over and over and over and over. And with due respect, it was all just cajoling. It was all just cajoling. We warned against such promises. Where is the 8,000 naira? It's gone into voicemail. Someone said Peter Obi has raised army that are willing to sacrifice their life or to die for democracy. I'm not quoting it right, but I know the word willing was used, and the word he has raised an army. Where are the army? Where are the army that he has raised that are willing to lay their life or to die? The complaint about non-payment for 3 months is not necessary. They will get their arrears. 2 million enjoyment money is there to help them. The issue we need to know right now is it a true claim that they were not paid? They've not been paid for 3 months. That is the issue I am really concerned about, that they've not been paid for 3 months. And that 2 million represent as a compensation for them not being paid. Why don't they just pay them their salary? Let's be realistic. How much is the salary? If they can give a token of 2 million, let's apply, please, with due respect, let's apply what we call a simple common sense here. You've not paid people for 3 months, and you now turn around and give a token of 2 million. Where did that money come from? Where did that 2 million come from? Times it by the amount of senators that receive this money. Why don't you just pay them their salary? Whichever way we look at it, it's not justifiable. So there is 2 million to be paid to people. What happened to their salary? When civil servants wants to go on holiday, they get their holiday payment as a normal salary. Why should theirs be different? Why should theirs be different? You've not you put yourself in the position of an employer who has not paid his or her employee for 3 months. So you decided not to pay the salary, but went forward to now give them a token, which is probably more than their salary. It doesn't add up. So whichever way they want to spin it, Nigerians needs to wake up and start to do right. Citizens, there's no way you can spin it. They've not been paid salary for 3 months. Then I got 2 million for holiday. Wow, bravo. I didn't realize that we've become so insensitive to these things. I honestly, I don't get it. John, is we the obedient we must take back the country? How do you intend to take back the country? Please, I need you to shed more light on this thing. How do you intend to take back the country? How? Please. Thank you for that. It comes from the 1 billion they collect from the ministerial nominee. From the 1 billion. What do you mean 1 billion? Was there money collected from the ministerial nominees? Did they pay any money? Are they supposed to pay any money? What 1 billion are you referring to? Please give me more clarification, please. Shed more light on this thing for me, please. I appreciate the comments coming in, but for the viewers who are watching, they need to understand exactly what you're talking about. My job here is to bring it as explain it to them as best as I, but it's a little bit sketchy, and we want things based on fact, evidence. If we don't have evidence, we say it's our opinion, please. Elisha Zeldara, definitely the 2 million token is more than their salary. The lawmakers should be empathetic about the welfare of Nigeria, especially this time of fuel price high. So if the 2 million is more than their salary, if the 2 million is more than their salary, the question now is, why don't they just pay them their salary? Why the 2 million token? Why is it token? They're entitled to their salary, pay them their salary. So why is it a token? Why should it be a token? And why should it be retracted when Akpabio said, when it was brought to his attention, and why would Ireti Kingigbe need to come out to try to defend it? That is the question that we should be asking. Now, Jajon, go and read Sarah report. Well, if I have known earlier, I would have read it so that I can bring this information to the public. However, you raise it up, so if you can post the link where I can read it, that's fair enough. But it would be nice, since you have read it, to share a bit. That is the purpose of we having this comment chat section. It would be highly appreciated if you just cut and paste, then I will highlight it here for people to read. I don't have that time right now to go check Sarah report this and that, because it wasn't brought to my attention earlier. But you brought it to the table, which is highly appreciated in terms of the 1 billion they collect from the ministerial nominees. So what you are alleging is that the nominees or the nominees paid 1 billion what? Naira, euro, dollars, Japanese yen to who? To Tinubu, to the senators. We need clarity. We want to base our discussion on fact, not just speculations or false allegations. I don't agree with. Regardless, if we're trying to change the country, then I don't agree with false allegation. We need to get our fact. Read Sarah report, you will find it there. Last week report. Again, I repeat, you have read it. Copy and paste, and we can move on from that. Back to the issue of the 2 million that they received. Elisha Zah, let me ask you a question. If you are an employer, you've not paid your employee's salary for 3 months, and will you not give them more money than their salary as a token, or you will pay them their salary? Please, I need you to ask this question. Okay, please, I need you to ask Mr. Elisha Zira Dia. Please, sir, respectfully, I will appreciate if you can answer the question I just put to you. I'm using phone. Okay, I understand you are using the phone. Okay, fair enough. Whenever you have the time, or you can dip out and dip in back again, get the report and post it back again. So okay, they paid 2 million naira to who? This your allegation. Listen, let's be realistic here, please. Do you 1 billion naira per minister? To who did they pay the money to? Come on, let's be realistic here for crying out loud. Who anyway, I don't think we should overflog this issue of 1 billion until we see the evidence to such. I will not push something that is incorrect, that there is no evidence for. Like I said, the purpose we are doing this is to enlighten, to set the minds of Nigeria. We can't do that based on an allegation that cannot be verified or a claim that cannot be verified or that turns out to be false allegation. No, that ain't going to happen. Not on my watch, please. But anyway, I still thank you, John. When you have the information, you can provide us that information. And I will show it to the people. I can't pay my employee a token greater than his salary. Thank you very much, Mr. Elisha Ziradia. I hope I'm pronouncing your name properly. So that's why I said we have to apply simple common sense to this thing they are trying to spin. They want to spin it by us, as they've always spin. They're spinners. When I saw it and I listened to his Mr. Eseme Eyibo interview granted to Arise News by Dr. Abati, honestly, I was furious. As such, I said, no, come on. They've really taken us, Nigerians, as an idiot. That's what they've seen us to be. Such impunity to spin. No. I thought I've seen the last days of spinners. There's one of our panelists. His stage name is Spinners. I've not seen him for a while. I hope it will come on air on the comment section to help us here, because he knows he can read Spinners from far. So, Mr. Spinners, for some time I've not seen you. So if you are hearing me, we will need you on this platform. Now, again, back to the issue of the removal of the fuel subsidy. If we are to give the president a benefit of doubt, what ground will it be for us to give him a benefit of doubt that indeed he truly cares about the poor? There has to be grounds that truly he wants the poor to breathe, not to be suffocated. Everyone deserves a benefit of doubt, but there has to be grounds to give somebody a benefit of doubt. Somebody of his type, given to the history, the issues going on. So, what are the grounds for Nigerians that Nigerians will use to say, let's give him that benefit of doubt? From where I am sitting, none. Now, I may be wrong, and I stand to be corrected. So, I need someone to highlight, those in the comment section, to highlight, to tell me if they have or know any ground that we should give the president, the executive, the legislative arm that benefit of doubt, that indeed they don't have intention or they don't want others to suffocate the poor. Now, further to her speech when she made that promise on the altar, well, we know the way things are right now in the Christendom, in Nigeria. But nevertheless, the altar of God will remain what? The altar of God, regardless. A sacred place. A place that we should not what? We should not mess with or play with. Well, when such promises are made, first and foremost, even God himself, I believe in Ecclesiastes, says that we should not vow if we know we are not going to pay it, or we are not going to keep to such vow. He admonished us not to vow. But if we vow, make a promise to him, we should what? We should keep the promise. But here is someone vowing with the help and the help of God. How can those who are suffocating, how do you want them to help? In what ways do you think Nigerians can help this government to get it right? Now, Nigerians can help themselves, read Section 68 and Section 110. But in the context of the present government, how does she expect Nigerians to help? In what way? It would be nice if she comes out to say, okay, yes, I did say with your help and with the help of God. What sort of help can the citizens give when they are being suffocated? How can they help? First, you have to remove that thing. In my opinion, you have to first of all remove that thing that is suffocating them. Without it, how would they be able to help? Thank you, Mr. Elisha Zira. There, outrageous token given is questionable if wages are not paid, correct? We, the citizens, need not to be kept in the dark concerning governance and financial issues bordering around the masses. Now, actually, I don't think they keep us, we are kept in the dark. I think it's our inactiveness. There's what they call Freedom of Information Act in Nigeria. And that Freedom of Information Act, when you apply for public information, they are required to give. I heard Femi Falana use it a lot. Maybe because he's a lawyer, they kind of get scared. But it's meant for every Nigerian to apply for whatever information that is public. For example, this information and this claim made by the former senator that senators have not been paid for 3 months is in the public domain. So under the Freedom of Information, you can request for it. So we are not kept in the dark. Now, there are odds to it. Let's be realistic on that. But these odds also can be overcome. We only need to stand up and start to act. If we don't act, nothing will change. That is the issue. If I don't turn up my computer or turn up my phone, the phone on its own is not going to turn on by itself. It doesn't work like that. If I don't put the key in the ignition and start the car, except the engine has a problem, the car will not start by itself. Life does not work that way. I know the impunity they've pushed on us, or they've carried on us, are so much weighed down on our minds and in our heart that we feel helpless. But when we start to stir each other's mind every day, come on this thing, words of mouth, via text messages, in our churches, in our mosques, in the mosques, when we start to say these things in our tribal meetings and football pitch where we play ball, where we sit down in the beer parlor, and we start to spread this message of 68 and 110 of the Constitution, that listen, the power actually belongs to us. And if we don't do that, then I don't know what miracle we are expecting, to be honest. Where is the miracle going to come from? From God above? Even the same God in the scripture says, go to the hand and learn. That means he expects us to do something. The ants labor during the summer, gather food, because during the winter they can't come out. So we are expected to do something, but we are not doing anything. We say all eyes on the judiciary. The judiciary are doing their job. What are we doing? To watch over them? No. It's not in our place to watch over them. Our place is to also do the right thing. If the judgment come, whichever party favors, they have the right to challenge it. We will continue to watch over them. All eyes on the judiciary. All eyes are on the Labour Party senators, lawmakers, every one of them in the upper and the lower chamber. The 70 billion naira allocated to them, when this was divided among the 436, if I'm correct by the figure, each one of them will go home with nothing less than 100,000 naira. Has anyone rejected it? Any Labour Party senators or lawmaker rejected that money and said, no, this is not right. We are not going to accept this money. None of them has. With due respect to the fact that I voted for Labour Party as well too. None has come out to say, oh no, we're not going to accept it. We don't want it. We want a change for the country. This money should be used to develop or to help the masses, the poor. No. If they are there riding on that horse of transparency, accountability, fairness, equity, good governance, why haven't they come out? Why? I said this and I will repeat it over and over again. The red and green chamber, that is the temple of corruption. For the record, you can quote me on it, you can call my name. Feel free. The red and green chamber is the temple of what? Of corruption. And until we address that red and green chamber, then we will what? We will be running in circle. No miracle will happen to Nigeria until we turn to God and make the truth and rule of law our bedrock. Okay. When you say until we turn to God, there is a big Mr. Elisha Zira there. Many Nigerians will disagree with you. I can agree with you that not until we make the truth and the rule of law our bedrock. Yes, we need to start to what? Practice that rule of law. We saw what happened in the court when Emefiele, the judge, released him, and we see how they desecrated the court by rearresting him again. I know that I'm in support of the man, but the law is the law. He was granted bail and he was rearrested. And two security agency were fighting among themselves in public. But when you say Nigerians must what? Until we turn to God, do you mind shedding more light to that? Yes, in terms of miracle will happen to Nigeria, no miracle will happen to Nigeria until we turn to God. Some will disagree with you. Hence, I need you to add some flesh to it, please, so that I know how to go about it. Add some flesh. For my own good, could you please add some flesh to part one of what you just said, that no miracle will happen to Nigeria until we turn to God. What do you mean by that? Someone said that you are priceless iffy. Actually, this is, if you read the description, This is is explicitly dedicated to those in the comment section. Now, if I make an exception for you to come, if I post the link, it will become uh, a different thing. So we appreciating, we want to acknowledge, the purpose of this is to acknowledge those in the comment section, to take all their to highlight their comments, including questions, because we don't get to talk about them or give them that due recognition that they deserve. Hence the purpose of this. Thank you for your understanding. I really appreciate it. But nevertheless, you can post your whatever you want to say on the comments. Then it will be highlighted. It will really be highlighted. So, except if you agree, if you argue me, if I put a link there, you are going to will only be strictly weighing on what the what is on the comment. I mean, what is posted in the comment. So I will put the link there for you, and you can comment. And when I highlight, then you can also comment on weigh in on what is being posted. So I'm going to put that link there now. There goes the link for you. I'm coming, Elisha. Is I will highlight. Okay, you said I should not put it up. Okay, I am going to respect that. So thank you for that. Okay, so Elisha, sorry. Okay, thank you, Priceless Ify. I'm assuming this is our normal Ify. Don't worry, if you are Ify, the usual Ify, there's a program for you tomorrow that is mandatory for you to attend. Remember, we discussed it. If it's the same Ify I'm speaking with, that will start at 5 p.m. So that one is open for discussion. Yourself, if you are the Ify, Eseme London will be there, and other ladies will be there. Quite okay. Nigeria is a secular country, but we know there are some acts exhibited by some of our leaders that is repugnant to natural law and all religions. Example is what is corruption. Okay, let's talk about corruption. Okay, corruption is everywhere in the world. Okay, whether in the US, but to a large extent, they do checks and balance. Their institutions functions because the people also ask questions. But if we now coin it that let's turn back to God, are you suggesting that the likes of America, the likes of United Kingdom, the likes of the Republic of Ireland, the likes of Canada actually recognizes God in the sense of practicing true Christianity? Please, that is a question I want you, if you can answer for me. Yes, I agree with what you said. In example you gave is corruption. Are you suggesting that this country I mentioned practice Christianity as we Nigerians practice it, or hold on to it? Don't let me use the word practice. I beg your pardon. I retract it, that word practice. Let me be Senator Akpabio. Everybody is allowed to retract their statement. I retract that word practice. So, are you suggesting these countries, some of them, okay, we disagree with what? With some of their what they practice. So, the question is, have they turned back to God? Is that what you are claiming? Were they in our position before and they now turned back to God? How did they do it? Because in Nigeria, we have more churches than any country in the world. I stand to be corrected. in Nigeria, we have more church programs than any other country in the world. This also, I stand to be corrected. In Nigeria, we have more pastors, more religious leaders than any other country in the world. This also, I stand to be corrected. And during the election, a lot of preachers came out, gave their prophecy, said different things, and we are still where we are. In fact, worse than where we were during the time of Buhari. Someone said, when Buhari regime has passed, we will say that Buhari regime is far better than this current regime. It appears that they are not wrong. It really appears that they are not wrong in this issue, because every blessed day things are going wrong. You need to watch that video, that interview given by that former senator Eyibo, and the boldness they've developed, the boldness that these senators have developed. If you thanks for that, I'll come back to that. A country where you have more churches than industry will never prosper. And let's be honest with ourselves. Now, someone may see this comment as if he doesn't believe in God. That is incorrect, because she's just made the truth statement. Okay, you have more churches than industry. Do church produce anything? The answer is no. The church don't produce anything. Do they have any manufacturing outlet? Do they have any industry? The answer is no. So they're not producing anything. So that is a true statement. And this is where I've always have issues when it comes to issue of church and their role in the society. Even Christ himself, when he said, give unto Caesar what is Caesar, and give unto God what is God. Now, when I read the commentary on that, I now understand exactly what Christ is saying. Pay your tax. So if you don't work, if there are no industry, how can you pay your tax? So if these churches start to build industry, be more creative, and employ people, that will be their own part in developing the nation. No one is against millions of churches, no. But when they become creative, rather than building a big building, raising money to build big temple, why don't you just put this thing and build industry? Be that difference. Be that light. According to Jesus Christ, he said that ye are the light of the world. He's not only talking about even with character. When you establish industry as a body, a church, you are equally fulfilling that scripture. Ye are the light of the world. There is one creator, God of heaven, regardless of your religion, belief, or of traditionalists. Islam and Christianity are part of it. All of them preach against corruption, bribery, immorality. 100% correct. They have to preach. In fact, they don't have a choice than to preach against corruption, immorality, bribery. It's even in our constitution as well, too. You, the citizen, must not give bribe. It's there in the Constitution. The duties of the citizens is there. We are not to give bribe, but we do give bribe. So let's have this scenario. People call for revolution. Sometimes I don't know what sort of revolution they're calling for. If every Nigerian makes that decision not to give bribe, either to the police, to the immigration at the airport, at the borders, in all our borders, if we all collectively say we are not going to give bribe, that revolution have started. Revolution is not a difficult thing. We just need to be what? On the same level. We have to agree on what to do. At this present time of Nigeria, if Nigerians we decide and say we are not going to give police bribe at all, either at the checkpoint, at the police station, anywhere and everywhere, that revolution has started. Let's see how many people they are going to kill. Then they will know we are serious. Besides Section 68 and Section 110. If we all decide that we are not going to give bribe again, if all the bus drivers, the taxi drivers, the Okadas, the Keke Marua, if every one of us should make that decision and say, you know what, no more giving of bribe. It's there in the Constitution. For those who think the Constitution is a fake document or does not represent their interest. I don't know what that interest is. I really don't know what that interest is. It's there for us not to give bribe. It is a crime for you and I to give bribe. Why are the police collecting bribe today? It's because they've not been paid. One of the reasons is because they've not been paid. That's why I said we should turn to God by keeping away from corruption, bribery, immorality, selfishness, nepotism, and we'll have a new Nigeria if our leaders obey. Now, in the context of this discussion, it is not about our leaders. I said this yesterday that I, for one, have stopped blaming our leaders. That's just the truth. I'm not justifying what they are doing. I will never justify it. We, the citizen, have that responsibility. We, the citizens, are the one to make this change. Worry OMD. Worry no they carry last. I trust you now. Well, if you know they carry last. My brother, I hear you, but when they weaponize poverty in a society, then all goes. Yes, they have weaponized poverty. But this is what I don't get. We recognize that, some of us recognize that they've weaponized poverty. But do you know that all this also is in the mind? So, for those of us who recognize it and we know this truth, our duty is what? Is to help to what? To preach that message of change. Yes, they've weaponized poverty, but it's all in the mind. And that is why that senator could come out to spin, former senator, to spin the 2 million naira that was given to them, saying because they've not been paid salary for 3 months. And all we just say is, oh, Sarah, whatever will be, will be. Yes, that is how far they've gone to weaponize poverty for us to believe, even bullshit, for pardon my language, that they sell to us. But the ones that are enlightened, that knows the truth, Your role, my role, our role is to see how we can help to preach this gospel for what? For reorientation. That is the campaign. Particularly the obedient who are saying all eyes on the judiciary. Come on, let's be realistic. Judo Kosha, please keep the comments coming in, and I promise you we will be here. I will highlight everything. But how many Nigerians are prepared to be patient and thorough in going through the due process without compromising the citizen, with the system? Don't be surprised. There are many Nigerians there that are ready, that are willing to. They just need a little bit of push from somebody like you, Judo Kocha. For you, you are willing. You are ready. You are patient. I can argue that you will not compromise the system. So if we have someone like you in your community, in your environment, in your society, in your little corner, where you go and play football under the bridge, those days that we go play football under the bridge, these are the ways we can pass these messages across, particularly in the context of Nigeria, where social media, electricity, and data is a problem. This was achieved during the election. How they galvanize people, youth. That's the question we should ask. How were they able to galvanize or to bring out this youth en masse? That means it is achievable. So, Judo Kocha, you have a job in your hand. If it's just one person, you can help to reorient their mind. And that other person also do other one, and we continue this way. It's not a day's job. Our target is the next election. If we can push this message towards the next election, prior to, because change does not occur during election. Let's forget, because that is what is in our head, in our mind. That is why you see people collecting bribe. They thought during the election that is when change will happen. They collect money, they collect this and that. After that election, we're back to square one. Change does not occur during election. Now, this is now. The change has to start now, so that by the time we get to that day of election, we are voting right to continue to enjoy that change that we want. But if we sit down and fold our hands and say, oh, let's wait till the day of election, all eyes on judiciary, please, come on, let's wake up from this slumber that we are. Let's wake up from this slumber. Thank you, Jude, for that. I will take it as a compliment. I just agree with you. The mindset is of a vital. It is of a vital importance. Listen, we can't disregard that. I know I go a little bit into the Bible, but even the Bibles also say that in Romans chapter 12, verse 1 and 2, renewing of your mind. And how do you renew your mind? You use the word of God. Then you now act accordingly. Let us all go back to this constitution that they said is not a good constitution. Disregard those who are saying the constitution is not a good constitution. Listen, I will tell you the truth. Some of them are paid to push that narrative. Some of them are paid, some are ignorant of it. We will forgive those ones that are ignorant. But the ones that are paid to push that narrative that our constitution is our problem, they don't even have evidence of such. It's a sad thing coming from those who are. And let's just say you're doing okay. I'm waiting for your program next week. Your optimism is section 1. The people don't want a change, or else stones would be thrown. Let me see. I'm waiting for your program next week. Your optimism is impressive. Vice versa. Section 69, 68, 69, 110. The people don't want change, or else stones would have been thrown. I agree with you, my brother. I don't think the people don't want change. I rephrase, please. You know why I said I don't think they don't want to change. I think the people generally want to change. The events of February 25th election If you see the amount of people that came out, trust me, they really want to change. Unfortunately, because how it turns out, we all went back and we all sat down and said, you know what, this is it. We give up. I think it's the book of Psalm when the Hebrews were saying, by the riverside Babylon, where we sat down, and there we wept. And they said we should sing them a Zion song, if you read it very well. They relax, but the Zion song we should sing the Zion song, or should be sung regardless of the situation. The Zion song we should continue to sing that Zion song. Yes, the result did not turn out to be what we expected. But should that now make us to give up and say it is over? No, I disagree with that totally. And the reason why I keep pushing is when I saw the enthusiasm that people came out. I gave an instance of an elderly woman. I believe her age is about 80. When she said, where is Papa, Mama, Pikin section that she can vote, she can cast her vote. So even the elderly ones who want to change, everybody is feeling the pain. Whether you vote for Tinubu, whether you don't vote for him, whether you vote for P2B, every one of us buying fuel at 617 naira, if I am correct. There is no special filling station for anyone. No special filling station for anyone that will say, oh, I voted for Tinubu, so yeah, come here, we'll give you fuel for 100 naira. It does not exist. It does not exist. Elisha, you are addressing judo coach. Electorate are fond of electing some persons, not knowing after being elected they will betray them. How can we know game changers that will change the system? Most of them don't show. Electorate are fond of electing some persons, not knowing after being elected they will betray them. How can we know game changers that will change the system? Let me tell you what will change the system. That question is to you, judo coach. So you respond to it. I will also respond to it. Or no, let me give you the opportunity to respond to it, because it's about those in the comment section. I have a part to weigh in on, but let me allow you to weigh in on it first, because it's addressed to you, and this broadcast is dedicated to you in the comments, to you guys in the comment section, as a way of letting you to understand that we appreciate you, Rudolph in particular, the CEO of Dr. Damage's broadcast. I appreciate you, and I appreciate the role you play in furthering this channel and what it stands for. So that is why we launched this program, this segment this week, and we hope to come once a week for this segment. I mean, you can see it's not rowdy, no argument. We're doing it. We're flowing, which is what I enjoy anyway. So it's my safe zone. So Jude, do you mind weighing into it before I weigh into this? But until we hear from Jude, the game changer, which I have continuously preached or talked about, is, yes, at this very present moment now, when I'm in this very present moment, today is the 17th of September. I mean, August, I beg your pardon. I'm way ahead of the month. I have no reason why that is. Today is the 17th of August. The game changer, for the record, is when we, citizens, in our constituency, start to invoke Section 68 and Section 69, which is repeated in Section 110 of the Constitution. That is the catalyst to the game changing the game. Remember, I said earlier, if we citizens have one mind and we resolve to say we are not going to give bribe, it's a very difficult and challenging thing, but it is achievable. If all motorists, bus drivers, kabu decide and say, you know what, enough is enough. Come and kill us if you want to kill us. We ain't going to give bribe again. How many people are they going to shoot? But you see, we need to lay the groundworks, the mindset, because they've weaponized poverty. And how did they weaponize poverty? Is by the message they preach to us, what they tell us, and we soak it in over the years. And as such, we become this, they turn us to this helpless. We can't do anything. We don't have the power. We can't fight these people. We can't take on them. We can't pull them out. We can't change the system. I've even heard people saying they have this big vote of money, for crying out loud. There's something called willpower that is beyond money. 200 million Nigerians, even if it is 50 million Nigerians, we come together and say, this is it. Just like Michael Jackson said, this is it. And we say we are ready to effect this change, to make this happen. Trust me, with the help of God. That is when we can confidently say, with the help of God. Just like Joshua and Caleb said, we are able to overcome these giants, these sons of Amal, the giants in that dimension, the Amalekites, sons of Amalekite. We are able to these are giants. And this is what these legislators or these politicians appears to be to us right now. We think that they are giants. We think that, we cannot. It's so bad that some of us Christians think, it is the last day job, for crying out loud. America, United Kingdom, Ireland, Scotland, every one of them, we are all under this face, under the sun. So if the sky is going to fall, it's going to fall on everybody. So that is the way they've brainwashed us. It's all in the mind. That is how the game is played. All in this mind. As small as it is, it's very powerful. So if every one of us start to chip in that message that yes, we can, we should rise up to the occasion, then we will make this change happen. Let's take an example. I mean, it's not a good example, but let's go as far as when the current president, Tinubu, said, it is my turn in Miloko. He has labored for it for years. He didn't plan it. It was not a day's job. The man has been, yes, he has compromised a lot of things, his integrity, he has compromised everything that needs to be compromised. And he's fighting the demons around him now. But we don't need to compromise our integrity. We don't need to compromise anything. But we just have to start. We have to start somewhere. And not just say, our fathers have gone, they came, they've gone. I won't say they failed us. They have the same mindset that we have inherited from them, sadly. Leaving the country will not solve the problem. Because those that left, that are on YouTube today talking on channels, they never imagined that they will sit down today and be talking about Nigeria and be concerned about Nigeria. To them, We've left Egypt. We are now in the promised land. It appears to be the promised land. But you see, we cannot fully detach ourselves from the country of birth. Not possible. Change for the bad system in Nigeria is very possible. Let's see what happened in other countries that are successful today. 200 million Nigeria it's not a joke. Honestly speaking, 200 million Nigeria is not a joke. Compared to 436 that are holding us hostage. Come on, Nigerians. Let's wake up now. 436, the legislative arms, is not a joke. Compared to 200 million, that is approximately, because we don't have the data to know the birth rate and the death rate and this and that, but we approximate it to 200 million, but nothing less. Electoral reform is paramount in changing our system of governance for better. It's down to you and I to get the right people in there. It's down to what? You and I to get the right people and do right. Even join if you feel the political party existing ones are corrupt, you don't want to, you feel they will corrupt you. There's absolutely nothing wrong in having a group of innocent and decent people with good intention and form a political party from the grassroots. Like I said, it's going to take years, but we have to start now. If we keep postponing it, it will remain that way. According to Worry, my brother, how you doing? What specifically do you want the hungry masses to do? We in diaspora live in a privileged position already. You said this once before. I said, let me repeat what I said. I said we sit in a privileged position. What specifically do you want the hungry masses to do? When you use the word hungry masses, it appears to me, I stand to be corrected, because of this label hungry masses, they can't do anything. Now, what I want us to do, I use the word us, or what I think, what I've been talking about, don't let me use the word think, what I have been preaching about ever since is Section 68,110. Our legislators, and I repeat again for the record, that is the temple of corruption. It's playing out. It's playing out already. So you don't need to any evidence from me anymore again. 70 billion allocated to them for whatever reasons. You will hear that one organization in Nigeria is suing Akpabio for 45 billion that they want to use to buy bulletproof cars and have one bulletproof cars in every state. It's in the news. It's in the public domain. So we don't need to dance about the bush. That is the temple of corruption. Just like Babylon. In our community, we have people back at home, for crying out loud. We have families back at home. This message, you will have to start to preach it to them. Because if you will note, the money you sent home now, you sent home before, and the one you sent now is not enough. They are telling you that, bro, things don't change you. You can't continue like this. Even you in diaspora that is sending money, you know how hard you work, you labor for that money. It's not easy. It's not easy sending, and you can't ignore them either. Because you are the social welfare. That is what a white lady told her boyfriend or her husband when he keeps sending money home. One day she now asked him that, My guy, what's going on? Don't your people have social welfare there? No, he said, no, I'm their social welfare. It's not easy when this money, you know how hard you labor for it, and you know this thing can be done. The country is blessed. Honestly speaking, I have never seen a country on earth as blessed as Nigeria. Even our tourism section alone, if we can develop that, I know how much we will make from it. Back to you again. We're obedient already from a party and they were rigged out. What's next? Okay. Uh, uh, worry, worry picking or worry OMD. I want to. I believe say you come from where man speak pidgins. Man, may noticing all the grammar. Even my grammar self no sweet again. Man speak pidgin before. They say worry no they carry last. Worry no they carry last. Do you understand what that means? That no how there is a way. There is always a way around. That's why they say worry no they carry last. Let's argue that they were rigged out. Is that the end of the road? Tell me. No, I want you to answer this question. Is that the end of the road? Is that the last election? The February 25th election. So what you are suggesting, you are claiming that is the last election in the history of Nigeria. Please, I want you to answer my question based on what I just highlighted. Obedient already formed a party. Well, Obedient didn't form a party. Labour Party has been existing for quite some time now. Point of correction. And they were rigged out. The matter is in court. We'll wait for the court to make a determination. Now, that being said, what I am now asking you is this. Is this the end of the road for you? The last election in the country? Is that the last election? Tell me, please. I need you to answer this question. Then I will come back to you. Electoral reform should start with INEC. Study the metamorphosis of Nigeria's electoral body since 1979. INEC doesn't seem independent. People vying for elective offices must not register with millions. I agree with you. I will weigh in on that. Okay. Now, the issue of electoral reform that you said start with INEC can only become possible if we address the issue of our legislators. Listen, everything is tied into that. If you go back to the US election, Donald Trump, where he tried to overturn the results, you see the cases coming on. Everything is tied to that. If we get that aspect of our legislative arm right, believe it or not, we will. It's like when I said, if we get constant electricity in Nigeria, 50% of our problem, in fact, more than 50% has been solved. In the terms of legislative arm, if we get that institution right and perform checks and balances on the executive, there is no any other institution they cannot perform checks and balances on, including INEC. The president should not be appointing an INEC chairman. And even if he is given that power, they still should apply checks and balances. Take for example, have you heard any legislator, including Labour Party legislator, appointed ones, talk about INEC? No, none of them has. You know why? Because they're benefiting financially. They will not. Have you? Before and now. Current hardship. I'm waiting for Warib. Okay, you've not answered my question. Current hardship experienced by the masses is as a result of long-term correction that has eaten our system of governance like cancer. It is changeable, so let's change it. We will not overflow that. If we can't get that right now, that is open to the That is open the well. You did not, Kenneth Brown. I will appreciate if you could, if you can complete your. If we can't get that right now, that is open the your. Can you complete the statement, please? Thank you very much. Back to you, Prince Obina. He said, it's not only Nigerians that sent money, Chinese, Koreans, Mexicans also send money to their countries too. So, what are you trying to highlight, please? Prince Obina Uta, could you please, what are you trying to highlight by it's not only Nigerians that sent money home? That is recognized, but in the context of what we are discussing, is about the present situation in Nigeria. Before you send, let's say you send equivalent of 10,000 naira to anyone, maybe on a regular basis in a month, given to the removal of the fuel subsidy, everything has gone up by 300%. Almost everything has gone up by 300%. So that 10,000 naira you are sending, you probably have to increase it by 300% or maybe 30,000 naira. So it will not be easy for you because you have to now plan your budget all over again. Okay, before I give, let's say, $100, now you now have to start to give maybe $200, $250. You have to consider your own expenses in the United States as well too. In the context of Nigeria, that is why I mentioned the issue of sending money home. So if you could shed more light on what you are trying to say, then we'll weigh in on it. Sorry about it. The next one is worry. Until INEC is collapsed, this should be the last election conducted under this man Yakubu or his employees. Okay. Until INEC is collapsed. Worry man, I wish I can see your face, to be honest. Honestly speaking. But like I said, this broadcast is dedicated to you in the comment section. And INEC cannot be collapsed, please. We need INEC because that body, there's more election to come. Okay? We need INEC. And this is not the last election conducted. Until INEC is collapsed, this should be the last election conducted under this man. The issue is not, I think I've said this over time. Follow me on this, please. I will come to follow me on this. The issue is not Yakubu or any of his employees. That is not the issue. Look at the statement of Tinubu. He said, one, the former president came crying to him. Two, if not for me, he would not have been president. Three, Emilokon, it is my turn. So if you read in between the line, there is an agreement somewhere that was entered into. If I make you president based on who I am, what I am as a godfather, whatever it is, I will be the next person to become president. Meaning that you will do everything in your power as the president to make sure that I win the election. Now, if Tinubu had gotten one vote, this is my argument, and Pitobe have 199 million votes, Tinubu will still become president of Nigeria. Because Buhari must fulfill that agreement that was entered into. Now, it is insulting for you to tell a president to come out to say he cried to me, he was crying for me to help him. That is an insult. Thirdly, on a plain level, you don't ever open your mouth to say to anyone, if not for me, I can't tell you, worry guy. I say, if not for me, you will not be where you are today. It is very possible that I played a role in being where you are today. But it is not by my own power. It was a privilege given to me by God for me to help you to get to where you are today. If you are familiar with the song of Ebenezer Obey, I may not be. Me, if it's not me, you will not eat. He said, "Ẹ jọ̀wọ́ ẹ má sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́ o, ọba Olúwa la lè bí èṣe." Don't say that again. Even Tinubu himself should understand that song, including his entire family should understand the meaning of that song, that you don't come out to make such a boast. This is where we think it's about the election. Listen, the election, many people voted for what? For Peter Obi. Trust me on that one, for the Labour Party. But if Tinubu had one vote, Yakubu will still announce him as the president. Let the sky fall. He has to do the bidding of what? The agreement. Even though he was not there, he may not be there, I beg your pardon. That agreement is called gentleman's agreement. Why do you think Akpabio is the Senate president today? It's also called gentleman's agreement. Why do you think Wike is the minister of FCT? It's also called gentleman's agreement. Unfortunately, it's at the expense of you and I. It's not about the election. I'm going to argue this till their kingdom come. It's not about it. It's what I term the gentleman's agreement. Honor among thieves. But you and I, we don't have honor among us. We can't even honor one thing for us to do right. Come together and effect a change in the country. They use one thing to divide us. One thing they agree with, they use that one thing to divide us. Money. People think it's tribe. People think it's religion. No, it's money. That's what they use to divide us. Come election, what do you get? What do they give? Money. Whether they give a bag of rice, if you have to translate it, it's money they use to buying it. Is it not money they're sharing among themselves? Is it not money they're sharing among themselves? The same money they use to divide us. We sell our conscience, our soul. We sell it. It's money. You don't brag about someone's success today because God used to lift him up. What transpired during the entire presidential was a mockery of our electoral system. And I am not in dispute of that, but I am trying to tell you that if Tinubu had just one vote, quote me on it again, if he just had one vote, based on that three statements I highlighted to you. One, Buhari came crying unto him. Two, if not for me, he would not have been president. Three, it is my turn to be president. So it's turn by turn. I have made you president. It's your turn now to make me president. So if he had just one vote, one, he will be president. He will be what? Be president. Nobody stand a chance. Not Atiku, not Showore. Nobody stand a chance. And that is the way they play the game. How do we citizens play the game? We're not going to play the game the way they play the game, compromise our integrity. The Bible says a good name is rather to be chosen than wealth than riches. We will play the game clean. Someone said, if it was a gentleman's agreement, then why mislead Nigerians to go to the polls? How do one become president in Nigeria? Are you suggest that if we don't go to the poll, that is how he has to go through that same system? They won't. I mean, do you expect them to come out to say, "Oh, there's an agreement between me and Tinubu that after me Tinubu will become president"? Come on, who is going to do that? You won't do that yourself. Repute Research Center, will you do that yourself? You won't do that yourself. They have to go through that same process. They have to act as if that is the process. He became a president through that same process. They have to act. It's a play. And they scripted it very well. Unfortunately, they did not expect the legal challenge. They didn't factor that into it, into the equation, thinking that, okay, once it happens, as usual, everybody will accept it. That is the only time in Nigerian history of election where somebody will win a president and you don't see rejoicing or happiness everywhere. It was a gentleman's agreement. Whether you were misled or not, they ain't going to come out and tell you, Mr. Report Richard Center, this is a gentleman's agreement. After me, it's Tinubu. So nothing anybody's. No, that'll be the military then. They ain't going to do that. Why should they do that? A gentleman's agreement was entered. At some point that you and I are not don't know, and we may never know. But like I said, the onus is not on us, the citizen. The onus is now on us. It is our country. It is your country. It's not going to last. This gentleman agreement will not last. But it's you and I that can only make it not to last, or else it's going to continue. Trust me on that. Prince Obina, too many excuses. How do they use money to divide us? Nigerians talk too much. Tinubu won the election. I know the election was rigged, but he did win the election. Okay. How did they use money to divide us? Come on. What planet do you live in? I don't understand, Prince Obina. Prince Obina Uta. Are you aware that people collected money during the election? Even as much as the message went out, don't sell your vote. People sold their vote. Some people still sold their vote. Huh? People sold their vote. Nigerians talk too much. Yes, I agree with you. We need to start acting so that we don't talk. Tinubu won the election. I know the election was rigged, but he did win the election. That doesn't make sense. It was rigged, and he was declared a winner, and that is why the matter is in court. So I really don't know what message you are trying to pass across. So if you could shed some more light on what you're trying to say, it will help me, it will help the viewers, and it will help those in the comment section as well too. Too many excuses. I'm not making excuses. I'm just pointing out, I'm just highlighting some points to you. So maybe help me to understand what you are saying. That will help. Mr. Emmanuel Akpodiete, you were on the show yesterday. Thanks for coming in again. Thanks for your time. I also opine that the gentleman's agreement was what made ex-president Muhammadu Buhari to keep the first subsidy so that APC could have a chance at the poll. A lot of things we can go on and on and on and on. It's unfortunate, but that is what we have come to see. So back to the core issue, which is, what do we do? Are we going to continue to sit down and say, Serai, whatever will be, the future is not ours to see? Or are we going to rely on prophecies? Prophecies, this will be because come election, everybody will start talking. With due respect. Only, honestly speaking, let me stay on the let's stay on the renewing of the mind. They've weaponized poverty. Let's work on how we can. There's a word I'm looking for. We can help our fellow Nigerians who are sitting by the riverside now. They've we've hung our pipe, our flute, we've hung it, our tambourine, we've hung it. We need to help them to take back that tambourine and sing that song again, that song of hope, that song that it is possible, that song that we can change the narrative. That's the song we need to sing. Even before the Nigerian presidential election result were released, the process had been denounced as flawed by some political leaders. Thank you for that. So then the tribunal should build the situation with truth. Otherwise, those who have been disqualified on fake credentials were wrong. I will leave that for the tribunal to do. Like I said, I'm trying my best not to say anything in respect to the ongoing court case. I have my reasons for that. I also disagree, this is my opinion, on this issue of all eyes on the judiciary, because the Labour Party has legislators in both the upper and the lower chamber. We should also hold them accountable in respect to the 2 million, the 770 billion that was given to them. We should start to focus, because they are meant to be there to make a difference. Ureti Kingbe, and it's in public domain. So if I call names, it's in public domain. Let's focus. Let our eyes be on them now. They are in there now. They are meant to be there to change. They are meant to be our eyes and our ears and come out and tell us the truth. We cannot continue to play double standard. They all received the 2 million that was tested to them. They said, Eyibo in Arise News said it's because they've not been paid for 3 months. It's there. Go listen to it. I'll probably get the link and put it there. It's on Arise News. It's because they've not been paid for 3 months, hence they were given the 2 million. Why don't you just pay them their salary if they've not been paid? Why are you giving them 3 million, 2 million for? Elisha, vote buying has always been the practice in Nigeria. Same thing about money, even party agent buying. This always paved way for vote rigging against the wishes of the electorate. Lawmakers should enact a law against this. Which lawmaker are you expecting for them to enact the law? The ones that are there? My brother, listen, I said, for us to see a change, some people said the 68, section 68, 69, 68, 110 is too cumbersome. They don't have any basis for that. You've not tried something, you said it's cumbersome. Because we are not one mind. Is it not the same one mind people had during the February 25th election that they came out and vote? It's the same process. It's the same INEC that will perform it. So we need to start to address section 68, start to invoke, I beg your pardon, section 68 and section 110. So get the constitution, hard copy, read it. Read it the way you read your Bible or the way you read the Quran. That is what is used to argue in the court today. I think it's section 34 and section 37 that is being used to argue, or 134, if I'm correct, that is used to argue in court today. Grab it, read it. So, while we highlight the problem, we also must highlight the solution. That is where position I take and I stand on. We have to highlight the solution. And the solution is you and I. Now, I love this name, the Repute Research Center. Repute, reputation. So, if I'm going to throw some questions at you. What exactly research is your center into? If you don't mind putting some stuff up there so that I throw some questions at you. Repute Research Center, except the repute stand for something else. If it's the same repute that you and I know as reputation, as transparency and other things, then I would love to know. Probably you will be of a great help in pushing this section 68 and section 110 of the Constitution. Your center can be used as one of our outlets in pushing out section 68 and section 110. Like I said, this is a community. This is not for fun. It's not for fun, please. I just want everyone to understand that we don't come on air for fun. Me in particular, I don't come on air for fun. No, I come on air to preach a message, to see how we can bring a change to the system. So it's not for fun. I can decide to do other things. I can decide not to say this. But the more we leave it, the more it gets worse. So they say a stitch in time save what? Save 9. We have to start now, gentlemen. Worry man, you've not answered the question I asked you, please. I can't see you again. Please, if you don't mind to answer the question I asked, that would be very appreciated. If you don't mind, remember, this is you and I, everyone in the comment section. I would like to thank you for coming on the comment section and for keeping your comment respectful and decent. It means a lot. It means a lot to me in that regard, because I often have issues with people commenting and using languages that we are not supposed to use. I like to thank you for everyone that's here. Like I said, it's gonna be a continuous thing. I will be running it most of the time, but other moderators also may come and also do this chat show as well too. So is to promote this message, because some of you it's easier to maybe in Nigeria or in other part of Africa, it's easier for you to be on the chat section and then coming to live. There's no much space on the live. Maybe it only takes 10 people at a time. But in the comment section, you can. Nigerians are a resilient bunch, okay? The majority of Nigerians go out and grind every day. Yes, the rate of criminality will rise proportionately to the rise in poverty, but we are awful and suffering. But we are very resilient. So let's apply this resilience to this change we are talking about. If we are which I agree, but sometimes we also need to look at this resilience. Is it really resilient, or have accepted the situation? There's a gray area there. Is it really resilient, or have accepted the situation? Let me just go by it. Take a look at it again, Emmanuel Akpojete. Look at the angle I'm coming from. Is it really resilient, or you know what? I've just accepted and just go along with the flow. Because if it's resilient, then we need to start to do the right thing and apply this resilience to getting it right, no matter how long it takes. But if we claim to be resilient and just accepting it and just drinking it, it's open for argument. It's really open. That there's a gray area there. There's a gray area there. Yes, we keep saying we are resilient. We take everything that is thrown at us. How long will you take everything that is thrown at you? Until we die, as many have died? Let's apply this resilience in getting it right. You know what? All these years we've been resilient. They've thrown it at us. We've developed thick skin. Now let's use this our thick skin that we've developed and what? And get it right. They've built us up to the extent that nothing they can throw at us that will move us. Remember, like I said, I'll be going in and out. There's a scripture in, I think, First Corinthians, Second Corinthians, said, there are no temptation that has taken man out that is not common to man. So whatever they've thrown at us now, or they will throw again, it's been thrown before. We've swallowed it. It has built this confidence of resilience in us. So let's take that and apply it to the change we're looking for. And not just sit down and fold our hands and say we are resilient and we keep swallowing it and things keep getting worse and keep getting worse and keep getting worse and keep getting worse. What sort of resilience is that? So, Obina, for those of you, thank you for those of you who, again, just thank you, heart pink waving. I don't know what that means, please. You can shed some light on it, but thank you. I mean, you guys being on the comment section has kept me going for almost 2 hours now. So I should be the one to say thank you. I should be the one to say thank you for listening. I have also thanking you in advance that you will take this message, not just us here. You will take this message to your little community, your small community, your small gathering, your offices, the marketplace, into the church, into the mosques. That you will carry this torch, this message, and this is how we can light the flame. This is how it can keep going, like the Olympic torch that never goes off. It keeps burning. This is how we can do it. I am the one that should tell you thank you. I accept your thank you, but like I said, I owe you the greatest thank you. Also, thank you. Obina, what did you say? Let's see what Obina. Brooks, no, I think, okay, Brooks, Amanda, Prince Obina, Ottawa. You said you know the election was rigged, but your master won the election. Confusing. No. Brooks, Amanda, please, we want to be respectful to each other. Okay? I mean, if you can take that confused part away, confused human being, yeah, please, let's try to be respectful to one another. We can hear our view, give our opinion, and still remain respectful and decent in our comment. He has a right to hear his opinion, which he has heard. Though a bit confusing, which I highlighted earlier, but anyone can be in that confusing state, including myself and yourself. So let's try our best to keep it decent and nice, and we respect each other. Okay, we're trying to have a new Nigeria, to form a new Nigeria, and this aspect is also part of it. So, but I take on board what you said, that the election was rigged. Obina did say that the election was rigged. Whether Tinubu is his master or not, we don't know. But I asked him to shed more light on it, which he has not come to shed more light on it. So, Obina, if you can, so that you don't give room also for such comments, we need to flesh some things out. Elisha, thank you for that. Who is this again? Elisha, thanks to everyone here. Dr. Damages, yeah, Dr. Damages is watching. It's he will get your message. and I will pass it. He will get it. He's watching because I spoke to him earlier before this program started. So it's somewhere watching this program, relaxing his brain so that it doesn't bust. Once again, I would like to thank every one of you that have been on this platform. And I would like to thank your comment. I would like to thank you for being respectful to one another, being respectful to the viewers, and being respectful to me. And I hope in my moderating, I've shown respect to you guys in return, because that's what we need. We need to start to respect each other. Don't forget the message, please. That is the most important thing. I will be back here again next week in terms of this comment section. I'll come back. Something will always. I'll come back here. I have a broadcast tomorrow by 5 p.m. But it's a lie. There'll be people on the panel, majorly women on the panel, because of the topic we want to cover tomorrow. But this chat comment section we go on once in a week. It will be. I will have. It will be held once in a week. No particular day for it, but it will be held. We'll just look for a convenient time, and I hope people are going to come. Whatever you have to say, questions, and I will have Ife on the panel. Ife priceless Ife, I will have her on the panel in my next show for her to also weigh in on what is coming up on the comment section. So I will be bringing the broadcast to an end, 2 hours and 1 minute. And no, Prince, don't say that. Well, we appreciate. This is why I don't have with Nigeria. Anyone that I have contract view is confused. No, Prince, listen. I believe she didn't mean it the way she put it. Like I said, I believe I have already addressed this issue. Don't say you will not associate with Nigerians. Okay? No, I don't think that is a good thing. You're either here or anywhere. I don't think it's a good thing to say you will not associate with. Why you don't want to associate? Even anywhere you go to in America, wherever you are, whatever it is, there are people who will what? If you don't agree with their views, they will come after you. It's everywhere. So we shouldn't just target that it's Nigerians. No, that is not a fair thing either. I mean, don't tell me you've not seen people or you've not been among other nationality that they don't agree with your views. They want you to take their views. They get angry that you are not taking their view. It's everywhere. It's going to happen. So if you don't associate yourself with Nigerians, would you want to associate yourself with Ghanaians? You think some of them don't have such views, or Americans or the British? You think some of them don't have such character or attitude? You will see it everywhere. But this matter has been cleared, and I hope to see you back again. I also hope to see the other person back again. I've forgotten the name. Brooks Amanda, if I'm correct now. Yeah, Brooks Amanda. I also expect everyone back here the next time. This thing is going to happen. Remember, it's our first show. So along the line, we will correct things. We will correct things. I'm not expecting perfection. Okay, I'm not expecting perfection. So please, Prince Obina Uta and Brooks Amanda, I want you to shake hands and say all is well. This will happen. So it's part of the change we are looking for. And if we don't address it, if people don't say their view, say their mind, we will not get that change. It's going to happen. So you can't run away from it, Prince Obina. I'm just telling you, just the truth, the whole truth, and what, and nothing but the truth. I think there's a new comment in there now. Oh, I've missed a lot. What somebody said, please clarify what you mean by keeping it respectful. I'm talking about language. You can hear your view. You can give your opinion without using derogatory word or disrespectful word. Maybe that's the way I'm saying it. Maybe others don't say it that way. But in terms of Obina and Amanda, Brooks Amanda, uh, Obina feels that way. I've already clarified that. We can, I mean, there are a lot of people I don't like. I can't go about insulting them or using derogatory words on them. Now, I mean, I've spoken about Tinubu and the wife and Akpabio and everybody. I will still be respectful to them and mind the language I use. What they are doing is painful, don't get me wrong, but I will not go about. So that's what I try to mean. I don't know if there's another angle you are seeing. If there is another one, just let me know. Then I'm going to highlight it as well too. Please try and look for a good stage. The background is awful. Thank you. I had to change. I have a good background, but something happened that I had to change. But thanks for bringing that to my attention. I tried to block it. I didn't have the time to change it. I was on a good background. That is noted. It wasn't meant to be so. So thank you very much. Even when they have spent many years in America, they don't still have any to offer, full of corrupt mentality. Okay. We're gonna bring this broadcast to an end now, but some people are still coming in. Do you know the traumatic situation people have been through because of their irresponsible behavior? Yes, we've highlighted this earlier. We've spoken about it, and we've discussed it as well too. And we will continue to talk about it. It is very traumatic, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, even spiritually. It is very traumatic. And if I tell you that this trauma has affected a lot of people, including up to their health, uh, you know this. It is that their irresponsible behavior. It is very traumatic. People are struggling to eat, to feed their family, and you are giving a token of 2 million to those who already have. But like I said, it's in your hands, it's in my hands for us to put a stop and bring this behavior to an end. It is in our hands. Nobody else again will do it. The Americans will not come and do it for us. The British will not come and do it for us. The French will not come and, even the Russians will not come and do it for us. Nobody else will, not even the Ghanaians will come and do it. Even the Niger that is close, that we share the border with, they will not come and do it for us. We have to do it ourselves. It's in our hands. They have their own problems. They have their own cross to carry. They have their own demons they are fighting. Do not come and fight our own demons or carry our troubles, our cross for us. They ain't going to do it. We are the one that will do it, that will make this change happen. There is no truth in them and have no moral. It is unfortunate that we are where we are today, but all eyes on the judiciary. Well, nobody is saying all eyes are also on the Labour Party legislators. They collected the 2 million as well too. They're going to share out of the 70 billion as well. Listen, I voted for Labour Party, so I believe I have the right to speak about that. Because if I voted for you, it's not because I want a change. If you are not giving me the change, then I'm going to speak against you. I'll call you out. That's the way it works. I won't say because you're my brother, I voted for you, hypothetically, and you are messing up. I'm going to call you out. Call me out if I'm messing up. If I'm not doing right, call me out. That is what it is all about. Not about, oh, it's my brother's sentiment. No. We're going to do that. He hasn't taken us anywhere. We need to march out. If not, we will all perish in poverty. yeah. Let's see. I mean, there is nothing wrong in a peaceful protest. Let's protest if we need to protest. I mentioned one today, earlier, I beg your pardon, where I said, if all Nigerians make that decision not to give bribe. That is also another form of marching out. If all Okada, not in all places, some Okadas have been banned in all back again. If all cabo drivers, taxi drivers, every one of them come out and say, we are not going to give bribe again, that is marching out. If those of you going back into the country in diaspora, this is very interesting part. I will come back to you in less than 30 seconds. I just need to take a short break and I'll come back to you. 30 seconds.
Album right here. It's called Spirit of Love. We're very pleased to welcome Majek Feshek.
Thank you very much. If all of us, in terms of marching out, I did highlight, stated that if those of us in diaspora, you're coming into the country because we are part of the change, you're part of the change. Don't give bribe to any immigration officer. If you are leaving the country, don't give bribe either. These little things, nitty gritty things, because we are part of the problem. If they say your luggage is 23 kg, anything more than 23 kg, you pay for the excess, rightfully. Do it. We must not look for the shortcut because we are also promoting the corruption. We are promoting the bad system we are claiming to be fighting against. Double standard, it can never work. It can never work. Don't give bribe on your arrival. Don't give bribe when you are leaving. Even if they ask, don't give. You have your 23 kg. You are not carrying anything that is prohibited from the other country. You have your correct papers. Why do you want to give bribe? Some of us give bribe by impulse. We just feel, oh, if we don't give, they are going to make life unbearable for us. No. By impulse, we just give. We just want to give. It's the truth. Because when you arrive there, the immigration officer will ask you, hey, brother, sister, what do you have for me? What do you have? What do I have for you? I don't have anything for you. You're doing your job, which I appreciate a lot. So these are all the things we need to put into the context. These are all the things we need to look at. Not just calling out one side about our own side. About our own side. When we arrive, I'm telling you what I have seen. When we arrive, we want to jump the queue. You've sat on the plane for 7, 8 hours, 10 hours. You've arrived in Nigeria, your country. Then you want to be in a hurry. That is when you want to be in a hurry. You were not in a hurry all the way from America or wherever you are coming from, you followed the queue respectfully. You don't never jump the queue. You obey the law to the letter. When you carry excess luggage, you pay for it. But we make it different when we're as soon as we are. So we are part of the system. We are part of the problem. We have to change it. Yeah, thank you. Charity begins at home. That's true. I just started enjoying the Major Facheta, but glad to have you back. Okay, I'll play the Major Fachek for another 2 minutes. I'll let you play for once so that let's use that as a break, and we'll come back again. If you have to use the bathroom, go use the bathroom, and you can grab a cup of tea, grab water, grab your popcorn, and whatever you want to grab. We'll be back after the program of Magic, after the music interlude. Thank you very much.
Album right here. It's called Spirit of Love. We're very pleased to welcome Majek Sashek.
The pyramid of Egypt, when we used to live like prince and princess. Remember, Marcus Garvey, who was the dream for New America. Oh, remember, Martin Luther King, who was the dream for New America. They say you have the right, they say you are brown, they say you have the right. They say you are brown. Only the angels of Jah is white now. Only the angels of God is white. So long, too long, so long, too long. We've been sitting down so long. We've been a fool around for too long. Sleep, Africa. Arise from your sleep, America. There's work to be done, Africa. So much work to be done, America. But if we unite, hey, we will be free so long, too long, so long, too long.
We've heard it from the Aussie Smart. If we unite, we will be free. So it's all about unity. So it's all about we being having one voice. Again, I would like to thank you all. I think the last comment is what is showing up there. I would like to thank you once again. I'll be back next week for the same program, and we will continue on this path. For those in the comment section, please spread the word. Christ Paul, Nigerians are law people. Okay. Nigerians are law people, law abiding people. Our problem is weak and bad leadership because the Nigerian people never have those they voted for. Rather, the Western powers install their puppet, and in turn, the puppet install their foot soldiers through rigged election. Okay, we will leave this Western issue for the. I think we should now. We will talk about this Western issue in the next show. It's high time we deal with this. I'm putting a hand to these Western issues that we're talking about that we think they are our problem. I repeat again for the record. We will talk about this Western issue in our next chat show. A lot of people have hold on to the view that they are our problem. Just like what is happening in Chad, in Niger, that the French, the Russians, they are all have interest due to their natural resources, blah blah blah. When you're preparing yourself for the next broadcast show, ask yourself this question: don't we have our own mind? We keep blaming the Western world, even if they are part of it, the problem. Don't we have our own mind to say no, to rise up and say no? Until next week. Thank you. God bless. God bless you. God bless your family, and have a lovely weekend ahead.